Hey everybody, I'm Joey. You're watching My Slice of Heaven Outdoors. And tonight I'm making chicken and dumplings my way. Chicken and dumplings just happens to be my favorite meal. And if you guys stick around, I'll show you how I prepare it. So stay tuned and come along. Okay guys, so the first thing we do is we're going to add 4 large boneless chicken breasts to this pot. Now you can use any cuts of chicken you want, but we just always use the boneless skinless chicken breast because it's easier in the end. We don't have to pick it off the bone, we just got to cut it up a little bit. And I will let you know now, this pot will be completely full. You may not want to make that much, so you might want to cut this in half. You might want to cut this recipe in half, but my version will call for 4 large boneless skinless chicken breasts. And next I put in enough water to completely cover the chicken, which for me was about 4.5 quarts. Alright, so next we're going to add chicken bouillon cubes to our water. Now you could have just used chicken stock if you wanted, which you would have needed 4.5 quarts of chicken stock. But we like these cubes, we found it to be a little bit cheaper. And it's still just as flavorful, yes. Just in case I didn't tell you earlier, it's 1 of these chicken bouillon cubes per cup of water. So there's 4 cups in a quart. And like I said, we used 4.5 quarts of water. So that's how I got the 18. Back in a bit. Okay guys, all 18 of the bouillon cubes are in there. Now they will dissolve when the water starts boiling and getting warmed up. And so next, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Guys, I don't measure anything, so I just stick it in there till I think it's enough, and I will taste it again later. Next, we're going to put a little bit of pepper. And we like the garlic powder, so we're going to put some of that in there too. Now the chicken bouillon cubes have a lot of flavor in them already, but we like a little extra flavoring. And our last ingredient for now is going to be ground sage, which goes pretty good with chicken. Like I said, guys, I don't measure anything. I just eyeball it. Now we're just going to let that come up to a boil, and it'll start boiling. Then we'll turn it down to a simmer, and we'll let it simmer for about an hour. Instead of mixing the salt, pepper, garlic powder, and sage, if you had like a poultry seasoning, you could just use that. It's pretty much the same seasonings that's in the poultry seasoning mix. All right, I'll get back to you when things start happening here. All right, guys, as you can see, it has now started boiling. So we're going to turn the stove down to medium low, and then we're just going to let it simmer for about an hour. Alright guys, while our chicken is finishing up when the simmering, we're going to go ahead and start making the dumplings. And we will need 6 cups of all-purpose flour. Then we will need 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of salt. Again, I'm not really going to measure it, I'm just going to sprinkle it in there. 1 cup of vegetable oil. Yep, that's right, vegetable oil in these dumplings. 1.5 cups of water. There's one. There's the half, plus we need 4 tablespoons. And then we need 4 large eggs. Then we mix that together until it becomes a dough. Actually, there was a couple other ingredients I wanted to put on here. Now you can leave these just like this. This is the basic dumpling recipe. I like to put a little bit of pepper. A little bit of garlic powder. Again, I don't measure it, I just sprinkle it in there. And a little bit of ground sage. And then mix it well till it forms a dough. And it's going to be a very sticky dough. Eventually we will have to put our hands in it. Right at this point we're going to sprinkle a little bit more flour in it, because we need to work with it and I just don't want it to stick all over me. Yeah, you're going to want this not so sticky because you're going to have to roll it out on a cutting board and cut it in a little bit. It's kind of hard to work with because I got the camera set up right in front of the bowl, so I got to work off to the side a little bit, but we're getting there. You see how sticky it is. If we wouldn't have put the extra flour in there, it would have been all over our hands. We wouldn't have been able to work with it. All right, we're going to maybe put a little bit more in there. And we're just going to let that sit for now until we're ready for it. It's been about an hour, so we're going to take the chicken out. Let it cool off for a little bit so we can cut it up and shred it up a little bit. And we're going to turn the fire up to medium-high. Alright guys, you're going to need a rolling pin. You're going to need some flour on your board. Put a pretty good bit on there because, like I said, this stuff is sticky. Put a little bit on your rolling pin. A little bit on your hands. And then just rip off a piece. And put it on the board. And just roll this out pretty thin. I guess about a 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch thin. Trying to watch that flour so I don't knock it on the floor.
He always does.
Whoops, got a little sticky there. And use a pizza cutter, makes it a lot easier. Just make little squares. Alright guys, all the dumplings are cut up and stuck in there now. So now all that's left is to shred the chicken and put that in there. The dumplings have been cooking for about 10 minutes, maybe 15. And you'll notice that it's getting kind of thick. That's from all the excess flour that we stuck on the dough or the dumplings as we was rolling it out. And that's the way we like it, nice and thick. So now we just cut up the 4 chickens. Sorry, my hands are in the way. And put that in there. That's 1. I still got 3 more to cut up. All the chickens in there. We just want to give it a mix up. And guys, this is a big pot. We'll eat this for 2 days straight. We'll have it tonight for dinner, and then we'll turn around and have it again tomorrow night for dinner. Saves us from having to cook anything tomorrow, and we all love chicken and dumplings. So that right there, that's it. That's how I make chicken and dumplings. I will put the recipe in the description. The directions will be in the video. There's many different ways to make this. I mean, I've put onions in it before. I've put carrots, celery in it before. I put peas in it before, but I really just like it plain, just like this. I'm gonna take it off the fire because now that it's thick and got all those dumplings and chicken in there, it could burn and stick to the bottom. So I'm gonna move it to this other burner. And we'll be eating here in a second. Well guys, that's the finished product. That's my chicken and dumplings. I appreciate you guys watching and coming along as I made it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up please. Hit that like button. And as always, leave a comment. I love reading the comments. Until next time guys, you'll have a great day.